All right, let's get started. Everybody watching, we are now officially live on the stream. Let's make sure everybody gets the correct link. Oh. Let's make sure everybody gets the correct link. Okay. Good. So Mo, welcome to today's episode, today's live class. It has been a sunny day in London.
Yeah.
Mixed weather in London. The weather's been very mixed. It's been sunshine, it's been rain. Yesterday we had our first training session again in a long time with the team trainings.
Yeah.
How did you find that session?
Well, I felt happy because, I wasn't just expecting the number of players to turn out, on the first day.
Yeah.
But from the turnout, I actually, I became very much impressed, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of those players again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which will be the second, day of our training section.
Yeah. And one of the guys that came there yesterday was a 6'6" monster, Mr. Brandon. And I remember you saw him the first time a couple of months ago, right? He came to a training.
Yeah.
And no one expected that Brandon was this big of a guy.
He's even taller than Ibrahimovic.
Yeah. If you guys don't know who Brandon is doing his own 180-day challenge to a professional contract. So give him a follow. I think you can search him, Brandon Diao. Brandon used to play for Hamburger SV in Germany, Bundesliga team. I believe he made it to the first team squad, or training with the first team squad, but he never made an appearance. That was a couple of years ago. Now he's played in England in the 5th, 6th, 7th division, 6th, 7th division, and he's been training with us recently. How do you think he is as a player?
Actually, look, as a player, looking at Brandon, I would love to have the caliber of player in my team, where especially somebody playing in my attack, and you can see that he's got all the skills. There's nothing you can complain about as a coach. He just needs a lot of kind of brushing up, kind of physical work. But tactically he's okay. Yesterday, as you know, it was the first day of training, so everybody came out, at least after a long traveling or holiday or whatsoever. Nobody is, fit now.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a good player, and I really love his attitude.
Yeah, great guy. So go give his channel a follow. It's Brandon Diao. There's some things I don't necessarily agree what he should be showing or doing, like with the training ground stuff. It's dangerous. I know the intention is to make contacts with Brandon. That's very dangerous. So try to be on your best behavior. But the message that he's trying to show with go and follow your heart, go follow what you really want to do, is something that I really resonate with, and I think you do too as well, Mo. So keep on going, Brandon. Keep pushing, and Train Effective, us in the house and the Effective fam are rooting for you. So keep it up.
Yeah.
Keep it up. The main thing that we should talk about today, one thing is, I'm just gonna write it down here, is my parents don't support my football dream. Mo, you've coached how many years now? Since the end of your playing career?
So 20 years now.
10, 15 years. But basically, being a football man, your whole entire life, you've played with so many players since a young age, and you've also coached many young players. Mo was a coach at my team. How I first met Mo was Mo was a coach when I was 15, 16, 17 at my club in Hungary. And in that time, we had a great group of players. We had 10, 20, 30 really good, talented players with all great potential. But how many of them are playing now? 27, maybe 27 have dropped out.
Yes.
And this is really typical, I think, with youth sports and soccer, football in general, is that when you get to a certain age, people start making the decision of whether they want to continue playing or not. And I think a lot of that reasoning of whether they continue playing or not is based on what their parents say. And it's a really big thing. On my Instagram messages here, Snapchat messages, emails, there's maybe one in 10 questions people ask, like maybe 1 in 10 is too much. The 1 in 20 questions is like, my parents don't support me in my dream. I have this goal of playing professional football or just taking my game to a higher level. But my parents say I should focus on school. But my parents say, you'll never make it. And you can replace parent for even friend or family member or whatever. But it still resonates true. Someone doesn't support you in your football dream. Someone that is very close to you doesn't support you. And you doubt yourself and make decisions that you don't think about, that you want to keep playing this game. I mean, what's your kind of take on that? It's a tricky one, right?
Yeah, very tricky. Actually, yeah, their parents, they will love you, doing better, maybe in school or whatsoever. Yeah, but kids growing up, more especially in the football, arena. These are guys that following big clubs, in the world, and they are fans of this club, and they got their own, players that they support in the big clubs or so. So they really want to become, player, like Ronaldo or the Messi or the Hazard or whatsoever. So, but the players, the parents of these kids are always, always very tight, very strict on the kids, meaning that they would like them to, be educated and whatsoever. But one thing I would like to, stress on you, if you really want to take football as your, as your dream career, you're going to have to actually convince your parent that football is not just a hobby, but it's something that that can bring better life to to you and your family. So all you need to do is you're going to have to put seriousness, even if they do not support you. If you put seriousness in your training and then get your abilities intact, then your parents could be convinced in one way, because your trainer together with you could go. That's the first thing you're going to have to do. Your trainer could go and then
So go and talk to your trainer,
Yes.
talk to your coach,
Yes.
and say, hey, I really want to do this
Yes.
at a high level more. I want to continue doing this. Do you think you can come and talk to my parents
Exactly.
with me and explain my mission?
Yeah, if this coach sees your ability and then he sees your future in more especially in football, even though your parents are being against you, and he knows the game better, and he knows what kind of a benefit it's gonna you're gonna do for this kid. He goes there, maybe the kids come to the coach and talks to the coach, and the coach schedules a meeting with the parent.
So
there's a way that you're going to have to talk to the parent in order way to convince and so that they will have to at least get rid of whatsoever they have been doing, to the kid, trying to deprive him from, taking his football career to where he wants to take it, and then they will start, giving a goal to see whether whatever this coach is, trying to do or asking for, is he's going to achieve that goal. So this is another way I think that you're going to have to do first, but don't take everything into your own hands. First. Make the effort.
Don't take everything into your own hands,
yeah.
As in do everything yourself.
Yeah, don't do it yourself. Yeah, actually, listen to the advice, but all you need to do, practice towards what you want to do, okay? And give it your goal. Be serious about it. And when you know that, you already, adopted to whatsoever you want to do, you got all the, the foundation or whatsoever, then you can make that move,
Right. So, and I think that might sound... I think it sounds like good advice.
Yes.
But for someone approaching that coming of age, let's say, where they're really making decisions between education, career paths, and stuff like that, that even in the first place, making decisions like this and knowing what you want is like a hard thing, and. I have the philosophy that if you really, really, really want to do something, and you can't live without doing something, like you can't live without playing football. It's gonna be in everything you do is like people feel that in you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
And
I want to say something about, I just want to say something. Maybe some of the parents are listening to what we're saying here. Yes, you parent will really want your kid to be, to learn or be educated. Yeah, but you could be a doctor, and I will give you an example of some of you who are grown up. In Brazil, one of the great footballers in Brazil was a doctor. But because of the love of the game, he went to play. He was called Socrates. Socrates was he's a doctor, yeah, by profession. But because of the love of the game, and even though he's a doctor or whatsoever, but he wanted to actually make people to understand that being educated in another sense, you can also play football. As another hobby in order to keep yourself healthy, and also that will bring you a good bring you in good relationship with people as well, how to learn different culture as well, So these are things that actually parents also have to understand. You don't have to keep your kid down, from their goal, from their dream of what they want to become. You're going to have to actually give them an advice and give them a push a little bit, So you parents, you are right, because you want the better of them, but at least this is something that they really want to do. So if they come to you as a kid, as your child, say, "Oh, mom or dad, I really would love to play football," or this and that. Maybe they are afraid because of maybe injury or whatsoever, but that is not going to stop to stop them from learning or whatsoever. You could be a football player. You can also go, and study and get a degree and whatsoever they're doing. So this is something I just wanted to, give a little bit of, advice on it, that football is not just about a hobby, but it's something that is, it's accepted around the whole world, where people will really love to become part of. So it's necessary that parents give them a goal and try to help them, push them up and let them, achieve whatever they want to do.
Yeah. And hey, Elliot, and this is Effective House. We have people coming in and out.
Oh, yeah.
A very natural setting. So if you see people, just say hi to them. One of the things I'd add to that, Mo, is like what if you give these examples of Socrates, you give these. Let's go back a little bit. Actually, the third thing, the third point that I want to add to this is that a lot of kids, even if you give the examples of Socrates, even if you give the example of football is going to help with me chilling out, or like it's going to help me be a better person. Even if you do that, even if you say, oh, mom or dad, this is what I really want to do, a common response to that is, well, you got to focus on one or the other. You have no time to focus on one or the other. And I think people can use this as an excuse that they just don't have enough time. Parents will say that as well, right?
Yeah, parents might say that, but you know, kids learn very fast. You know, they learn faster than we do as, you know, grown up. And more especially if the kid puts his mind into doing something and we just support, that goes very much more faster than, you know, if you trying to drag him down. If you're trying to drag him down, you know, you try to, you know, kill his morale, he's not going to actually be happy. Maybe he loves football and you forcing him or her to study. Okay, that is okay. He will study his lesson. He will study a lesson. So if you just say, look, okay, you can go to your football as a parent, go to your football, but make sure you do your homework or do this correctly.
Yeah, and what I want to add to that is that I always give this example all the time. A lot of you might have heard this already, but you have 168 hours in a week. When you sleeping 60 hours a week, that's about 8 hours a day. You have over 100 hours or whatever you want to do. A full-time job or school and schoolwork might take 40 hours a week of that time. So when you do the math, 60 hours of sleeping, 40 hours of work or school, that leaves you in 168 hour a week with 68 hours, 60, 70 hours. So you do that math and you think, well, wow, I do have a lot of time. Where's all my time going? When you have 60 hours in a week to spare. So you have to manage your time. If you decide to do both, or you're coming up with a plan to convince your parents or whoever that this is what you really want to do, and they say, hey, okay, well, all right, go for it, then you need a plan. You need a plan of what you're going to do and manage your time appropriately. This is not easy. You want to do both things. So that's
of course, you know. So back again, I would just say, look, parent, look, okay, give them a goal and tell them, say, look, okay, this subject, I want this grade. I don't want to stop you from your, you know, your football activity or whatever, but make sure what I would like to see from you, you do it better. So you give it a try as well. Give a try to the kid and see whether he or she is going to study his or her lesson, you know, the way you want it to be. And then if you see that, okay, oh, he's doing great in his study, then why don't I, you know, support him? So it's still the same. That doesn't mean that if the kid wants to be involved in so many activities, I think you should give that kid, you know, the chance. You can be a doctor. You can be a football player. You can be, I don't know, a basketballer. You give them the chance. I mean, let them be involved in, in activities that will bring them closer to other people, learn other culture, you know, be able to express themselves among people. But if you just, you know, hold them very tight into yourself, I think you're trying to kind of like, take them. Take them out of their own freedom, you know, in what to do. I think it's sometimes good to give them kind of like,
that outlet. But besides kids, besides parents, sorry, I mean, most of the people who can listen to this they're the kids of the parents, and like, I know that even if you give them all these reasons, maybe half of the parents are still gonna be like, especially Indian parents or Asian parents, a lot of them are still going to be like, no, you can't do this. What do you do in that situation? So when you have parents or that really maybe academics, They really value education.
Yeah.
They think sports is just leisure, hobby thing.
I think
here you are. You know that this is what you really want to do.
Yeah.
You're really passionate about it. What do you do?
So, well, as I said,
and they keep saying no, no, Nick, no, Mo.
Yeah.
You know, you can't do it.
Yeah, as I said,
you're not good enough.
Yeah, as I said,
there's no time.
Yeah. As I said, you know, the kid might not be able to convince them, so you're gonna have to find a way. That is through your coach, and your coach could go through, you know, some of the parents' relatives or so.
Parents and relatives?
Yeah. And so the kid's parents, you know, those who are closer to the parents, you know, and try to explain to them what actually he has seen into this, you know, the ability in this kid, and what actually could actually help this kid to become this or this or that. So he goes around, you know, these relatives and said, look, I want you to join me, you know, because maybe I'm not part of this family, you understand? I want you to join me as a family member, but this is why I want you to join me. Then he explains to the relatives and tell them why he wants this, you know, the parent approval for this kid, and then he wins, you know, the heart of these, you know, relatives, you know, and then they come along with your coach, and then this in this way, the parent gonna have two thoughts, you know, so if one or two persons could come to us and, you know, express this thing, then why don't we try?
Yeah. Now, I think that could work.
Yeah.
But still, for some parents, for some kid, that's not gonna work. Still, but I think it's like a if you have parents that really truly don't want you to do this, they're really against it. I really think it's like, because I've been in this situation before. My parents are both educated. No one in our family has ever been a, say, high level athlete or anything like that. So I when I was younger, I really had that kind of pushback as well. But it's like a rock. It's like a rock, like a stone. Let's say a stone that's blocking the door.
For entering.
Yeah, and you gotta find your thing. What do you call it? A
dagger,
hammer, or a dagger, whatever. And you have to chip away at that rock, and that rock is basically you could call that rock the beliefs of your parents, the wall that they've placed there for you, which you have to chip away at. And the only way you can chip at that rock is to keep pounding the fact. The matter is, the fact it's not easy. You have to pound the fact that this is what you really want to do, and then explain it to your relatives, explain it to your coach, explain it to everyone that you know that this is what you really want to do, and keep chipping away at that rock until that rock goes away, and you can finally enter that door, and maybe you get the approval from your parents that Nick, do it, go ahead, but. Because I know there'll be buts, but if that does happen and that rock does go away, and you do have that talk with your parents that you go chase this is what you want to do, cool, and if your parents say, but don't let go of don't let your side go of your education or whatever it is, your work or whatever, respect that. I think you should respect that.
Yeah, sure.
And manage your time wisely, so you know what your priority one is. But don't forget your priority two.
I could also let me just say something also. Like in your school, you got football activities, sports. Let's say sports. Okay, you do sport in the school, and your parents could also be convinced in order to lead them to support you in a way that you are a great player you are the best in the school, and then they get to know that everyone is talking about you, their kid, that you're my son, or people are talking about my son.
He's a great player.
Yeah, he's the best player in a.
He can go somewhere.
Yeah,
he has ability.
He's scoring, and everyone say, who is that talented kid? And
who is he?
So they're gonna begin to wonder, but what actually is my son doing in the school? So one day, you're going to have a match, okay? For example, again, you say, Mom, Dad, maybe you might, you have not been following me or whatsoever, but this is something I would like to share with you. I'll let you come watch me or whatsoever, I'll let you come see my program or whatsoever. And if you're able to convince your parents to go and see your game or whatsoever, or even if one of them said they are not going to see you play or whatsoever, or maybe your dad goes or your mom go, the mom go to see you, and then you like
perform.
You you became the star of that day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be the star. Yes.
Everybody is celebrating you, and your mom is going to be like, she's the best mom.
Yeah.
She goes home, instead of you going to tell them what happened, either your mom or your dad is going to share with the with the husband or whatever. Say, oh, look, I think we're making a mistake on this kid. Let's give him or her, the push.
Yeah.
So this is how sometimes they're gonna get convinced.
Yeah.
And what do you do?
Yeah.
Like it might happen in Ronaldo's case, or Messi, or Hazard, or Ibrahimovic, or how do you call it? Modric, yes, Di Maria, all these guys. Okay. It wasn't easy. They went out there in the street, maybe even when the parents are not paying attention, they went out there and played. So, and then they got used to they got this, talent in them, and then all their activities started improving, and so this is something that it's actually going to help your parents to support you. So just try that. That's why I said, put your mind to it and work towards it and do it to the best of your ability, so that when the time comes for you to show, you're going to deliver, and then they will be convinced. People will start talking about you. Your fame is just going to be, going. In the school, who's the best player in the school? Then they get to know that it's their son. So at least it's going to change their mind somehow. So this is something that the parents still have to look at,
Yep.
Yeah. So
and
parents,
that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
But if in the case, let's recap for a sec. If in the case these things still don't work, let's go back here. Now people have all the tips, advice, the real practical advice that they can do.
Yeah.
I think a lot of kids still listening to this are still gonna think, well, that still sounds hard. Like, I don't know if I can really tell my parents this. I don't know if I can. And here's the thing about that. I think it's going to be maybe at your age, let's say 15, 16, 17-year-old who has to make these talks now happen. It's going to be one of the hardest things that you probably ever had to do at your age, because it's new to you, it's foreign to you. And the only advice to overcome that is to just do it.
Yeah.
Because now, as you enter adulthood, you have to make decisions like that. You have to have those talks. There's no holding back. Yeah. It's part of your development. Yeah. It's not easy. Yeah. You might get into fights with your parents. They might say negative things which really hurt your confidence. Yeah. But that's your coming of age as a player, as a person, and as someone who actually, if you really want to go to that high level, something you got to start dealing with. Yeah. And it's simple as that. Right?
I don't think most parents will actually stop their child or kids.
I'm just talking to the kids, because I know quite a few kids that I've given this kind of advice to, and some of them still don't actually have the courage to even initiate that talk. So I'm talking to you guys. You guys.
Yeah. But it's also left with the kid himself, the player himself. If your parents still insist that concentrate on your study, and I will also advise you that try to do your best in the school, try to learn, whatever they want you to do, and when they see your report is improving over and over, they see that this child is a good child, he's doing his best in the school. So why don't we let us push him, let us give him the help that he needs, so that Actually, yeah, he has listened to us. I mean, he's doing everything that we asked of him. So I think we should give him the go. But the only time I think they're going to be too harsh on you is when your grades are coming and your report from school is not too encouraging.
Ooh.
So this is the time then you're going to get them a reason not to support you.
Yeah.
So on that side,
and that's coming back to okay. Your parents say, yeah, do this, but you got to remember, what are your priority 1, 2, and 3? If your priority 1 is, okay, I'm going to become a footballer, don't lose sight of priority 2 and 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Manage your time carefully, be disciplined,
yes,
and make sure you hit the targets that you need to with the other things.
Exactly.
That is all part of being a disciplined person, and that type of discipline is going to take you throughout your career. In anything that you do, not just football.
Yeah. Respect them, they're your parents, know that, everything that
respect.
They did for respect them.
They raised you.
Exactly.
And you have 2 kids more, so it's like,
So that's it. So you're gonna have to respect them and give them all of your support as well. Even if they told you don't do this, don't do that, all right. Yes, mom. Yes, dad. Do it that way. Yeah. But sometimes too, don't be too stubborn. Because the more you're stubborn, then they're not going to, actually follow. I mean, they're not going to give you that support. But if they see that you're a disciplined child, so that can also be seen, outside, even out of the home. You are a disciplined child. I think that will also give them the motivation to do more than you expect them to do for you. Yeah.
Definitely. So just let's recap now. What happens when your parents don't support your football dream? Step 1, talk to your coach. Get your coach to talk to your parents. Step 2. That's step 1. Now what do we say for step 2?
And if the state insists that, step 2, if the state insists, oh no, whatsoever, we try to find other means of, close relatives, through the coach, to go and explain why.
Yes.
He wants from this,
So step 2, guys. Step 2, talk to your close relatives.
To convince, they'll be able to join you to convince, the parents of the kids.
Step 3. If step 1 and step 2 has not worked, you must chip away at the rock blocking the door.
Exactly.
You have to chip away. You have to continue showing your parents that this is what you really want to do. Sometimes that doesn't happen in a day or a month, but pounding that this is what you really want to do, and keep showing that hunger and that grit that this is what you want to do. Until they finally understand. So that's step 3. Step 4 is get your parents to come to a game.
Let them see what you always insisting on to do. Let them support that they should support you on. And then try to do your best there. I mean, let them come to a game to see what you're expecting to see of you. And then you prove them wrong, or you prove them, you prove to them that whatsoever you've been asking of them, this is what it means, and you become the best player of the team, and it's going to, how do I say? They're going to be proud of you, actually, to see you do the best, to be the best in the school. Everyone is talking about you, so this is what you have to do. That's why you're going to have to put in everything before you can convince them. That is, when they go to see your match, then you show them what you are capable of doing.
And step 5, the final step, when everything has actually worked. Step 1 work. If step 1 didn't work, go into step 2. Step 2 doesn't work, go to step 3. Step 3, go to step 4. And then, by step 4, it should have worked. If it doesn't, then you just gotta find a way. You just gotta find a way, because if this is your dream, this is what you really want to do, then you just gotta show every way. But step 5, and most importantly, is show respect to your parents. If they highly value something else, like say your education, make sure that you don't lose sight of that either. Be disciplined, keep working, keep scheduling, make sure your time is strict. You might have to make sacrifices, maybe less time with your friends, less time watching YouTube or playing games, but respect that respect that freedom that the parents have given you.
Yes.
And make sure you repay them for that.
Yes.
And then that's what you do.
Yes.
Follow your heart, you go. Yeah.
Exactly so.
So, how's your meal going, Elliot?
It's going very nicely. I'm chopping up some carrots and onions.
Carrots and onions.
A lot of effective fan.
Yeah, come and say hi for a second. If you heard some chopping in the background, that was Elliot.
This guy.
Elliot is the chef of the Effective House. And he's making a nutritious meal of carrots, onions, and vegetables. He's also a Liverpool supporter, so well done, Liverpool.
What?
Yes, very happy right
Oh
now.
my
Yeah.
goodness.
Imagine.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Anyway, so that's it from Elliot, from me, from Mo.
Yeah.
Look, we wish you the best of luck.
Yes.
You can do it.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
Making this game not easy, and having these conversations not easy, but
Yeah.
you can do it.
Yeah. Give it a go.
Give it a go.
Yeah. Put your mind to
it a
it. Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yes.
If you have anything that we can help you with,
Yes.
make sure you ask.
Yeah.
We're active on social media, obviously, at Train Effective,
Yeah.
or you can even email team@traineffective.com if you have a really specific question.
Yes.
So, it was great talking to you guys.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Yeah.
Stay
Stay
effective.
effective,
Yeah,
yeah.
stay effective. What was that, Elliot?
Stay effective.
Stay effective. Yes. See ya.
All right then. Bye bye.